Knowing the plot of Cars, you probably remember that the whole movie showed us the rivalry between two racers, Chick Hicks and Lightning McQueen. Chick couldn't accept that Lightning was better and faster than him, so he tried every way to take away victories from our hero. According to the plot, it was only thanks to the street racers who essentially helped McQueen escape from the van that he ended up in Radiator Springs. Today, together with you, I will try to understand if the street racers were hired by Chick Hicks or if it was just a coincidence. Today we will find out if the street racers worked for McQueen's sports rival Chick Hicks. Did the street racers help Chick Hicks? Asking this question, I recalled all of Chick Hicks' evil intentions. He always wanted to be ahead of McQueen. Chick Hicks was the only racer who could behave rudely on the track, cut others off, create dangerous situations, try to crush Lightning McQueen morally, and was even capable of hiring his fangirls Mia and Tia, all just to keep McQueen behind him. His goal wasn't just to win the cup but to draw attention to himself. It's no coincidence that his body is covered with so many sponsor stickers. He wants to be better than McQueen in everything. That's why the entire first Cars movie revolves around their rivalry. The street racers appear when McQueen, caught up in his competition with Chick, does everything he can to reach California faster and prove once again that he's cooler than his rival. McQueen was extremely self-centered and willing to do anything just to boost his ego and convince himself that even Chick Hicks was no match for him. That's why he pushed Mack to drive without rest, and that's why they hit the road immediately after the race, something that, of course, turned out to be a mistake. The first encounter between the street racers and Mack doesn't seem like a mission for the young speedsters at all. It just looks like they randomly run into Mack and start cutting him off. Even the fact that McQueen's figure accidentally falls onto the button that opens the trailer seems like a simple coincidence. Completely unrelated to Chick Hicks. Now let's remember the game that was made based on the original movie's storyline, Cars, the video game, 2006. The street racers cause quite a bit of trouble there, even robbing a drowsy Mack. There's even a full-fledged mission where you play as the racers, dodging various objects falling out of Mack's trailer. Just like in the movie, everything happens at night. Later, the exact same mission becomes available, but this time you play as McQueen. Your goal is the opposite. You have to cut off the street racers and collect the items that fell from Mack. After that, we see a cut scene where the sheriff catches the street racers, and they reveal that they were actually hired by some guy, a green racer. McQueen immediately realizes that it was Chick Hicks. Now let's figure out the timeline in which the events of Cars, the video game, take place. Lead designer Jordan Itkowitz stated that the game was developed to provide additional story elements for those who wanted more after watching the movie. In a way, it serves as a continuation of McQueen's story after the first film. This allows us to conclude that all events in the game are part of McQueen's personal storyline. However, keep in mind that this is merely an assumption, as we don't have exact details on how the game's story was structured. Furthermore, THQ, the game's publisher, had exclusive long-term licensing agreements with Disney, DreamWorks Animation, Nickelodeon, and WWE. So their main goal was probably not to create a full-fledged continuation of Radiator Springs' story, but rather to engage fans of the then-new animated movie. But there's another reason why this game can be considered canon alongside the first Cars movie. As simple as it may sound, it's the voice acting. The console versions feature the original voice cast from the film, including Owen Wilson, Michael Keaton, Paul Newman, Larry the Cable Guy. However, in the PSP and DS versions, Lightning McQueen is voiced by Keith Ferguson instead. Considering all these factors, in my opinion, the Cars video game serves as a sort of continuation of life in Radiator Springs. Yes, some moments are changed or unclear, but overall, all the characters capture the atmosphere of the full-length animated film. Knowing who Chick Hicks is, how, in McQueen's absence, he managed to win over Mia and Tia as his own fangirls, how he adopted the catchphrase, Ka Chica, as a counterpart to McQueen's, Ka Chow, and how he is arguably one of the most dishonest characters in the Cars universe, I can confidently assume that after the Grand Prix race featuring the King, McQueen, and Chick, McQueen immediately rushed to Mack and hit the road. Trying to be the first to arrive, Chick, seeing that McQueen had already disappeared, likely decided to play it safe by hiring the street racers. We've also seen in other games how Chick easily found like-minded allies to go up against McQueen. By the third movie, he even became a commentator. After ending his racing career, he couldn't leave the sport entirely, so even on air, he kept trying to assert his superiority over Lightning. McQueen left a lasting mark on him, and Chick will always remember that he won the Grand Prix Cup and, at least once, finished ahead of McQueen. The street racers in the game deliberately avoided mentioning Chick Hicks' name, likely fearing serious consequences from him. In both the first Cars movie and the game's final scenes, we saw how aggressive he could be. So instead, they simply gave McQueen a hint by describing Hicks' appearance. Based on all these assumptions, I still believe that in the first movie, the street racers were actually hired by McQueen's main rival, Chick Hicks. The creators just chose not to state it outright, allowing viewers to come up with their own conclusions after watching the film and playing the game. I hope you enjoyed today's discussion about the street racers working for Chick Hicks and the idea that the game is canon to the movie. I tried to find at least some evidence of things that weren't explicitly revealed in the film. Of course, I understand that not all of my points may be 100% accurate, so feel free to share your own thoughts in the comments. But at least I presented some of my own reasoning, facts, and arguments in support of this theory. If you liked the video, don't forget to leave a like, write a comment, and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.